म्हणून नाव येतंय. नाव बदलायचं असेल तर काय करता येईल का?
नाव
हा आहे
हॅलो
इथे रिनेम
हॅलो
आहे.
हॅलो
Yes,
हेलो
sir.
एम आई ऑडिबल नाउ?
Yes, sir.
यस सर, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल। Today's lecture is on marine insurance. So our honorable speaker, Mr. Prasad Patil, who is taking the lecture on marine insurance. Prasad Patil is a professional with various having knowledge of various insurance subjects. He is earning. He earned the fellowship from Insurance Institute of India, and currently he is working in health department in head office. So his expertise in marine insurance also. So we are very fortunate to have him to take a lecture on marine insurance. So now I would like to ask Prasad Patil sir to continue with the lecture on marine insurance. So over to you, Prasad.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after the inauguration by Sachin sir, I'm now going to start the marine insurance, and we have only 1 week in the, less than 1 week to exam. So it is important to we will learn some concept also and revision type of lecture this is. So now I will start my slideshow, and also from I have given this exam 4 times. So from my exam experience also, I will tell some tips also in the end. And if anyone has questions, then we will take in last 20 minutes. We will keep it for question answers. So I'm starting with PPT. Just a minute. Yes, so we will start from first chapter itself. So we will start with historical perspective of marine insurance. As we all know now, marine insurance is the oldest branch of insurance. So why when the cargo goes on ships or a ship itself, that hull insurance, those two are the main branches of marine insurance. So hull and cargo. So in the Indian history also, there was a Yogakshema, one term called. So Yogakshema means risk and safety. In the ancient time also, in China also there was a marine insurance on the Yangtze. They were engaged in the trade on Yangtze River. So Babylonian merchant also engaged in the trade, and for that they made the Hammurabi Code. Then Rhodian merchants, they innovated two terms. One is bottomry and other one is respondentia. So bottomry means mortgaging of the ship, and respondentia means security of the cargo. On that, they used to take the insurance. Like if consignment reached destination without any problem, then they have to give the interest or share the profit, and otherwise they don't have to give anything. So that was the one form of insurance only. So general average concept is like sharing the losses among everyone, because ultimately if the ship reaches to the destination, then everyone will get profit. So for that, even if you have to throw some cargo in the in the ocean or in the river, it is okay. But then price of that cargo will be shared by, loss of that cargo will be shared by everyone, including the ship owner and crew also. So general average was first practiced by the Rhodian in the Mediterranean Sea around 916 BC. And next is the object and functions of marine insurance in modern time, in medieval time, were aptly described in the preamble of Elizabethan Act in England in 1601. So is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now coming to India, our Indian marine insurance is also mostly taken from UK practices, United Kingdom. So before nationalization of the and coming into picture, these four companies, New India Assurance, National Insurance, United and Oriental, there was a 107 private companies. So why I mentioned this number here is, many times in this exam they ask these factual questions also along with the concepts. So they may ask you how many companies were there in India before nationalization. So then that number is 107. This all information is from book only, but I'm stressing here because they may give you the option like 104, 105, 106, 107 like that. So you need to by heart this also. So the nationalization was effective from 1st of January 1973. General Insurance Corporation came into effect from November 1972. Then nowadays, everyone in insurance industry knows that IRDA gives the regulation regarding general insurance, regarding health insurance. So IRDA is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, and it is established by 1999 Act. Then up to 1994, there was a tariff prescribed for every insurance. So 1st of April 1994, they have withdrawn the tariff except on some commodities like tea, coffee, and all those things. Then on 1st of April 2004, tariff on tea, coffee, and all those commodities also they withdraw. So marine hull manual is there. It came into effect from 1983, but they have withdrawn the rates from 1st of April 2005. Now companies are free to charge the rate, but terms and conditions should be from that manual only. So there are no arbitrators in the marine insurance. Then in foreign countries like UK and US and some other foreign companies, there are P&I clubs. Then captive insurance companies are there. But in India, we don't have P&I clubs, captive insurance company, etc. Then in UK, there are separate admiralty courts for marine insurance problems. But we don't have in India separate courts. Only our civil courts will handle this matter. Then 3 acts are there for means many acts are there, but these 3 acts are specifically important for the marine insurance. The Insurance Act 1938, then it is then Insurance Rule 1939, Marine Insurance Act 1963. So here one point I want to mention specifically, that marine is the only branch which has separate act. Otherwise, all other insurance like fire insurance, health insurance, they are by the Insurance Act 1938. But marine has a separate act 1963. So from that you can understand the importance of the marine. Then the Stamp Act also plays a role in the marine policies. According to it, every marine policy should be stamped. Then I will elaborate on this Stamp Act provisions in next few slides. So now going to next. So Lloyd's, we know the Lloyd's is a very important player in all this marine insurance business. So it incepted in London in 1680s at the coffee house of Edward Lloyd. So all those people come gather there and they discuss about all these marine things. So it started from there only. Then legal status. So Lloyd's Act 1871 gave the Lloyd's its legal status. Then from 1982, Lloyd's Council also established. So that council currently has 28 members. Then all these Lloyd agents, they have unlimited liability, and they help all the underwriters, all the insurance companies. Insurance companies sought their help also. They publish various publications also all over the world. Marine insurance companies get help from this. And please note that they may ask you the question. This is exam specific. This is not a concept. But Lloyd's agents are not underwriting members. So they may ask you, are the Lloyd's members are underwriting members? Then it is no. They are not underwriting members. They help to underwrite the policies. Then there are various international organizations in the marine insurance. So first is IUA, the International Underwriting Association of London. So it is two things you need to specifically by heart about this. That this is world's largest representation or representative organization, and it works for promoting the implementation of process reforms and electronic interface across the market. So if you find these two lines in the question, then that reverse question they may also make, that which is the world's largest representative organization and who works for promoting implementation of process reforms and electronic interface. And they may give you option like IUA, IUMI, IMB, TAC, GIC. So if these two words come, then it is IUA, International Underwriting Association of London. Then second is the International Union of Marine Insurance, IUMI. So here it is like it works for safeguarding and developing insurers' interest in marine and transport insurance. So, and the exchanging information relating to marine insurance. So these two lines, here you need to understand that if these two lines are there, then it is IUMI. Or they may ask you like what IUMI do. So the IUMI works for safeguarding and exchanging information. These two. Then please take a point that IUMI is not a decision-making body. Then third organization is International Maritime Bureau, IMB. So IMB works for fight against all types of maritime crimes and malpractices, and also combating maritime frauds. There are various maritime frauds. We will come later about that. So all these IMB fight against all those things. Then it also provides an authentication service for trade finance documentation. Then this IMB was instrumental in the establishment of Piracy Reporting Center, which was opened at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 1992. So here also they are making question like this only, that which organization established Piracy Reporting Center, or IMB established Piracy Reporting Center and at. So it is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So keep that in mind. Then there are 7 fundamental principles. We will.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Just please tell me one thing. Will you be sharing the PPT after the lecture?
Yeah. I will share. Everyone is sharing. I will also share. No
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But sir, हम वो group में नहीं है. Hello.
So I will give you my number at the end of this session, and you can directly message me on Telegram or WhatsApp. I will send you.
Okay.
So shall I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So there are 7 fundamental principles. You know, every in fire insurance or in health insurance or in marine miscellaneous motor insurance, there are fundamental principles. So here in marine, we have 7 fundamental principles, and we will see it one by one. So first is, as always, principle of utmost good faith. So what this means is, whatever insurer is giving information, we are believing in it. So if they give wrong information, then we may disown the claim also. And principle of utmost good faith is also called as ubereme fide. So there are then customer may insured will give us the information in forms of representation. It is called as representations. So there are three types of representation: material fact, second is fact, and third is expectation or belief. So among these three, there is one question that whichever should be must be true. So material fact must be true. Fact should also be true, but even if it is not, then we can ignore also. And expectation or belief is in good faith. So what is material fact? One example I will give you. The material fact is like if they are telling you that they are transporting coffee, and afterwards you find that they are transporting some wool or anything other, cocoa beans and all those things, then it is also a material fact. And as per our book also, in book they have given date example. So if they are taking the insurance from 10th of suppose 10th of October, now October is coming, so we'll take example 10th of October, and that consignment already went on 7th of October, then we may deny the claim, because before consignment they have not taken the insurance. But if they said our consignment will go by 12th of October, they are taking it on 10th of October, and because of some reasons that consignment will delay and it will go on 14th, then it is not a material fact. We are okay with it. So now there is a warranty. Warranty is a promise by the assured to the underwriter, means the insurer, that something shall or shall not be done, or that a certain state of affairs does or does not exist. This whole line, there is one question, because they like fill in the blanks type. A dash dash is a promise by the assured to the underwriter that something shall or shall not be done, or that are certain. So it is a warranty. So whenever words comes like is a promise by the assured, then you can think that it is a warranty. So warranties are of two types. One is express and one is implied. Express means expressly written on the insurance policy, and second is implied. Implied means no need to write; it is there. We taken for granted, like thing in the layman's language. So there are two implied warranties. One is seaworthiness of the vessel at the commencement of the voyage. So that vessel should be seaworthy, not like any defective vessel and it is taking the cargo. That should not be there. But after some time, they know if the consignee, suppose like I am a consignee, that ship owner is different, and I'm not aware about the seaworthiness of this vessel. I think that okay, they are taking my uh, so cargo, so they must be seaworthy. So in that case, they will not held accountable me, and insurance company will give honor my claim. But second implied warranty, that is legality of adventure, that should not be that must be there, because otherwise it will void the entire contract. So breach of warranty makes the, now here also as you can see, breach of warranty makes the contract voidable at the option of insurer. So look at this wording carefully. So interpretation is also important, because they ask the question on that also. Breach of warranty makes the contract voidable at the option of insurer. So that does not mean that breach of warranty will always void the contract. So it is the option of the insurer. Insurer may take a lenient view and agree to honor the claim also. That is up to insurer. Then there are two hull policies. We will come later, but here it is about warranty. That's why I'm mentioning here. In a two hull policies are there, voyage and time policy. So in a time policy on ships, there is no implied warranty that a ship shall be seaworthy at any stage of adventure. Then second principle, among the fundamental principle, we have seen first utmost good faith or rubere fide. Then second is principle of insurable interest. So what is this insurable interest? The insured must have some legal relationship with the object. So in the common man's language, if you want to understand the insurable interest, then insurable interest means if that object got uh, drawn in the sea or something happens, fire caught it, so that loss, that monetary loss must be of that person. So that person, we can say he has the insurable interest. So some other person's cargo is there and I will claim that it is my insurable interest, then I cannot take insurance for it. So if my financial loss is there, then only insurable interest exists and that person only can take the policy. So in fire policy, you must have the insurable interest at the time of taking the policy, throughout the policy, and at the time of loss also. But please remember, in marine policy, it is something different, that you must have insurable interest at the time of loss. So if at the time of taking the policy, you have insurable interest, but later in incoterms we will see that later some others insurable interest attached, then you cannot claim under the policy. So there are two types of interest: defeasible interest and contingent interest. So that words only you can interpret. Defeasible means that comes to an end, and second, it contingency means happening on any contingency, that interest will pass on to you. Sorry. So crew members, they also have insurable interest in their wages, and hence they can insure their wages. And the second thing is the marine policy is freely assignable, means you can transfer this policy to any other person according to section 52 and section 53. So these numbers also you should remember, and the marine policy is freely assignable. Now this assignment, there are 4 exceptions. So means these 4 policies are not freely assignable. That first is duty insurance policy, the second is increased value insurance policy, third is seller's interest contingency insurance, and fourth is special storage risk insurance. Except these 4 policies, all other marine policies are freely assignable. These 4 are not. Then here also one question is that if you can see, third is seller's interest contingency insurance. This can be assigned only to bankers, not any other. So here they make sometime in a difficult type of question paper, they change the wording and they say buyer's interest contingency insurance, and then they say can be assigned only to bankers. Then they will give this option: seller's interest contingency insurance can be assigned only to bankers. Then they may include other 2-3 policies and they say can be assigned only to bankers. So please remember, the seller's interest contingency insurance can be assigned only to bankers. Then we will come in the marine hull also, but it is regarding assignment. That's why I mentioned here that marine hull policy cannot be assigned without insurance agreement. So this assignment is marine cargo policy is freely assignable actually, and marine hull policy cannot be assigned without the insurance agreement. Then third principle, the principle of indemnity. So principle of indemnity is common in the all the insurance like fire and all. Then it is mentioned in the section 3 of Marine Insurance Act 1963. So sometimes they may ask this section also. One question will be there from this section. So principle of indemnity is section 3, and main principles you should remember the sections. So insurance do not undertake to replace or reinstate cargo or vessels in the event of loss. Instead, insurers pay a sum of money agreed in advance. So that is sum insured we call. We agree in advance only that in event of total loss, this much amount we will pay. So it is an agreed value policy, marine insurance policy. Is it clear? Any doubt is there?
Sir, what does assignable means?
Transferable means I am transferring my policy to you also. So if you have insurable interest at that time, then I can transfer to you.
Without the consent of insurer?
Without the consent of insurer, and in marine cargo, not in
Okay.
marine hull. That's
Okay,
why I
thank you.
written it here. Even if right now we are seeing marine cargo, but I have written here marine hull policy also because that is regarding assignment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then fourth is principle of subrogation. So according to principle of subrogation, insurer places himself in the position of insured after paying the claim. So we, as an insurance company, we pay the claim to the insured, and then to recover that amount, if any other persons are responsible for loss, then we can proceed against him at insurer expenses. So this is also important, that letter of subrogation formally authorizes the insurer to institute proceedings to effect the recovery in the name of insured and at the insurer's expense. Here also one question, maybe they may ask that, they may twist the word that and at the insured expense or insurer's expense. So insurer's expense, because we are recovering it, so at our expense only. Why we will not involve the insured at that time. And then this principle of subrogation is the corollary of principle of indemnity. So in the from my 4 years experience, I can tell that if easy paper is there, then they may ask you what is the corollary of principle of subrogation. Then it is indemnity. Or what is the corollary of principle of indemnity? It is principle of subrogation. Then fifth principle. This is unique principle to the marine only. Principle of abandonment. So it is basically same as subrogation, but in this abandonment principle, the liabilities of the insured also attached to insurer, also transferred to insurers. So insurers mostly deny the abandonment because if any liabilities are there, then insurers have to pay it. Then principle of contribution, section 34. So please note that. Suppose one insured is there, he's sending his cargo, and he taken the claim from 3 companies. Like his total sum insured should be 9 lakh. So he taken the insurance from 3 insurers, that 9 lakh, 9 lakh, 9 lakh. So every insurer will pay 3 lakh only in case of total loss. Now, not all the insurers will pay 9 lakh. In that case, principle of indemnity will get breached if he get profit from the insurance. So insurance should not be used as to get the profit. So up to only proportion they will get. Suppose he taken from one insurer, suppose 3 lakh. From one insurer, it is he have taken some insured of 4 lakh. With another insurer, he has taken the some insured as 5 lakh. Then 3:4:5. According to that proportion only he will get. Then 7th is principle of proximate cause. So proximate cause, please remember that proximate cause should not be the nearest clause. Nearest clause may be different, but proximate cause should be active and efficient cause. So that should start the chain of events by which that loss is happened. So that is called as principle of proximate cause, or in Latin they say causa proxima. So maybe they may ask you the proximate cause similar meaning word also. So causa proxima.
Sir, can you please explain again abandonment?
Abandonment. Okay. Abandonment is same as subrogation. Means insurer will insurer place himself in the place of insured after paying the claim. But if that insured has any liabilities on that object, then those liabilities also get transferred. In subrogation, liabilities will not transfer to insurer. So that's why abandonment is not good for insurer. Because
Okay.
if he has liability, suppose he has taken 10 lakh rupees loan from any bank, and you accepted on the principle of abandonment, then you have to pay that 10 lakhs to bank also. So after all the liabilities get fulfilled, then only we will take under the subrogation. But this
Okay.
abandonment, and if they ask the question like whichever principle is unique to the marine insurance, then it is principle of abandonment, because all other principles are there in all policies. So abandonment is only in marine.
Okay, thank you, sir. And sir, principle of contribution is not a corollary of principle of indemnity?
No, that is also corollary, but in book they have not given like this.
Okay, thank you.
So now we will come to underwriting. Most important is this. So in all the insurance, in health insurance, in fire insurance, or any other engineering and all, we have proposal form. But in marine insurance, at least in marine cargo, there is no no formal particular format for that. So the insured may tell you verbally also, but it is underwriter's duty to record everything. So it is called as declaration. So it may be verbal. So please note that proposal form is not mandatory in the marine insurance. But 3 exceptions are there. Here also 3 exceptions. In special declaration policy, in annual policy, and in duty and increased value insurance policy, there should be a proposal form. So these 3 are exception to this rule. Then another point is premium. So we take the premium, and it should be only in INR. Even if that consignment is coming from abroad, from any country, from US, from UK, from France, or going to any of these countries, any country, then also we shall collect our premium in Indian rupees only. So that is mandated by RBI. And premium is also called as consideration. So that you may know. That proposal form is called as declaration and premium is called as consideration. Then according to our Indian practice, not Indian practice, but it is according to law of 64 VB section of Insurance Act, advance premium is mandatory. So before the commencement of the risk only, he should take insurance and he should pay premium. But in some cases, we allow relaxation. Like in cover note, you can collect premium within 15 days. But that 15 days limit should not be breached. So this 15 days you should remember, because, and please note that this 15 days exemption is there for cover notes only and not the marine policy. That question they have asked, I think 3 years back. So then we will discuss about underwriting factors.
So for how long the cover note will be valid? For how many days?
Cover note will be mostly valid up to 30 days. They said that within 30 days you should give the policy only. But that is also a tricky question. Like that is not a rule actually. If you read the book correctly, then you will come to know that they have said that insurer should give policy in 30 days. So then underwriting factors is there. Then about the vessel, we can say if weight of vessel is more, then the stability will also more. So in the typhoon or any cyclone, bigger vessels may get through it, and smaller vessel may get problem because of cyclone. Then types of cargo vessels. There are 2 types of main cargo vessels. That liners. Liners are called as liners are defined as those which run on advertised route and advertised schedule from between her port and her overseas terminal. So they will not go here and there according to whims and fancy or according to requirement. They have advertised their plan, their route in advance, and on that route only they will go. And so it is good risk, because it will there are chances of loss are less here. So you remember one word like advertise. So whenever advertised is there, then it is liners. Then second is tramp. Tramp carry bulk cargo. It is seasonal in character. and it go anywhere as long as they get the cargo and money. So it may get delayed. Also, they recruit substandard crew members. Also, it is cheaper, but it is not a good risk. So we accept trams for 15 years only, 15 years of age, but liners we can accept up to 25 years without any extra loading. So there is one concept like flag of convenience countries. So these countries are like they have less tax rate than many other countries, and also the standards of safety and crew competence required by these countries are below high standards. So we should be very careful if the flag of convenience country is involved in this insurance, then we should not grant them or grant at the loading. So there is a list given in the book. I have copied it here also, but it went outside the slide. So Costa Rica, Cyprus, Dominica, Greece, Sri Lanka, like these many countries are there. We will go to next. So following are the adverse features, means we will attract extra premium under the following situation. Like when a vessel is not on a regular trading pattern and is over 15 years old. So like tramp is not a regular trading pattern. They go anywhere on chartered basis. Then for tankers and bulk carriers and combined carriers, there is 10 years limit is there. Up to 10 years you can give them insurance without adding any extra premium, but after that you should load. Then when the vessel is on regular trading pattern, it is 25 years. So that is liners. And if that liner is a containerized vessel, then you can give normal rates up to 30 years also. Then another adverse feature is vessel where the vessel is not mechanically propelled steel vessel. So mechanically propelled steel vessel is not there, then it is an adverse feature. It will attract extra premium. Then institute classification. Then the vessel is classed below the minimum clause. Then also it is adverse feature. Then register other than those approved or is unclassed. If unclassed vessel is there, then also it is adverse feature. Then vessel is chartered and she is not classed and is 15 years old. So chartered, again I said like it is tramp. So tramp, it is 15 years limit is there. Then below are some terms I have identified to explain you, because many times they ask like what is meaning of this term. So at that time remembering it is very difficult, because they have given in the books in the brackets and all these terms, but they ask you, so we may not focus on those terms. So now you can learn this term. Lighterage is greater exposure to loss or damage. Then on deck cargo is that cargo stored on the desk of the vessel. So it is substandard risk, because if any adverse weather is there, then the chances of loss are more. Then tail end means the latter part of transit, means last leg of transit. If you give the insurance, then maybe loss happened at the earlier part and you are paying the tail end because you have given the tail end insurance. Then inherent vice means a material's tendency to deteriorate or self-destruct due to its internal characteristics. Because of that material's internal characteristics only, that material will deteriorate, like fruits and all. So that is called inherent vice. So inherent vice is not covered, except in coal clause there is spontaneous combustion is covered. Then another term is ullage. Ullage is means shortage. So this ullage they asked 2 years back. So that's why I have given me these 5 terms to you. You may find many terms, but these are 5. So now coming to the packing. Packing is most important, because if there is not good packing or adequate packing, then chances of loss are more. So first is corrugated fiber box cartons. These are light in weight and economical. This is its biggest advantage. These are light in weight and economical, but we should use it for domestic use or air transit only. They should not be used for pilferable products and in the overseas travels. Then there are sacks. So sacks are used for coffee and cocoa beans transport. So they ask like this question also, that coffee and cocoa beans are transferred in the, and they will give you option like sacks, multiply paper bags, polythene, like this. So you should remember this. Then multiply paper bags are used for cements and chemicals in granules or powder form, not in liquid form. So for liquid form chemicals, polythene lined jute bags are there. Then bales. Bales are used for cotton and wools. Then there are two terms, palletizing and unitizing. Palletizing is the assembly of one or more packages on a pallet. So whenever this word comes like pallet, platform, then you can write as it is a palletizing, because they will give definition and ask what it called as. So it is palletizing. Then unitizing is assembling of one or more packages or items into a compact load secured together and provided with the skids for easy handling. Here also you should remember these words, compact load secured together and provided with skids. So if these words are there, then it is unitizing. Then containers. Containers are generally accepted standard sizes by the ISO. ISO full form is International Standards Organization. So this full form they may ask you, and it generally accepted standard sizes are 8 or 8.5 feet high, 8 feet wide, and 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 feet long. So these 10, 20, 30, 40. And the main standard use, if they use the words like main standard use is dash feet in length, so it is 20 feet, and it is expressed as TEU. Its full form is 20-foot container equivalent unit. So then there are two hazards, which one is moral and one is morally hazard. Moral hazards relates to honesty and integrity of the insured, and moral hazard is attitude of the insured. So even if that insured is honest, integrity, he has great integrity, but if his attitude is like callous attitude, means whatever happened I don't care, like attitude, then it is also a risk for the insurer. So we have to keep in mind these two hazards. So moral and moral is they are somewhat looking similar words, but meaning is different. Then there are incoterms. Incoterms are international commerce terms. So international commerce terms are widely accepted among all over world, and these are, please note that every time when we learn the marine insurance, most of the time it is like UK, but international commerce terms are drafted by International Chamber of Commerce, France. So why I'm stressing this France, because if marine insurance there, we can easily guess that it must be in the UK, but international commerce terms are drafted by International Chambers of Commerce, France. Then there are two sets of incoterms. One first is in year 2000, it had 13 incoterms, and in 2010, sorry, pardon me, I'm correcting it. So year 2010, it has 11 incoterms. So, and those are implemented from 1st of January 2011. So you can remember like this 11, 11, 11 in 2010. At 11 incoterms, 1st of January 2011. They will ask you this date or number of incoterms into how many incoterms in year 2000 set and year 2010 set. Then they are 13 and 11. I mistakenly written it as 13, but in year 2000 it is right 13. Year 2010 it is 11. So this we will see. We will look at some terms now. So X works or X warehouse or X factory. So in this, these incoterms are like one more thing I want to tell you, that who should take insurance and when. That is decided by this incoterm. So in X works, it is the seller's responsibility is to prepare the goods as per specification and pack the same and keep ready for delivery at his warehouse gate only. So if he prepare the goods and pack and keep at his warehouse gate, then his responsibility is over. After that, it is buyer's responsibility to take that goods from there and transport to his place. So in this case, seller will not take insurance. It is that buyer will take insurance, because ultimately it is his loss after picking from warehouse. Then there is a free on board, FOB. So these short forms also you should remember. FOB. The responsibility of the seller is from his warehouse till loading of the cargo in the ship till the good pass ship's rail. So after the goods pass the ship's rail, then it is buyer's responsibility. Up to that, it is seller's. Now you can differentiate. In X work or X warehouse or X factory, only up to warehouse gate, the seller was responsible. But in free on board, seller's responsibility will not end at that time. It will end after goods pass the ship's rail. Then cost and freight, CFR. So CFR is somewhat similar to FOB only, but one extra is there, that in CFR, freight charges are also paid by seller. So in FOB, freight charges are not paid by seller, but in CFR, freight charges are paid by CFR, paid by seller, sorry. Then fourth is CIF, cost, insurance and freight. So CIF is CFR. One more thing is added, is that insurance. So seller has to take insurance. Then there is a delivered to duty paid, DDP, delivered to duty paid. So for the seller, it is the door delivery contract. Means in X works, it was up to his warehouse gate, but now here up to buyer's place, he have to give the goods, buyer's nominated place in buyer's country. So in this case, buyer will not take insurance, only seller will take it. It is advisable, not must, but if anything happens, then seller will be at the loss. So seller should take insurance. Buyer will not take, because according to principle of insurable interest, it is the seller's insurable interest. So seller will take insurance. Then sixth is delivered at place, DAP. Now here is also one question they can make, that which term was added in the 2010 set. So this delivered at place, it was not in 2000 set, but DAP was added in 2010 set. So this is to be, so according to this, seller has to provide goods up to the nominated place of the buyer. So in DDP, it was nominated place in buyer's country, but in DAP, that nominated place will be maybe anywhere. That will be decided by buyer and seller. Then delivery at terminal. Here, the seller is responsible to deliver goods, including unloading also, at the agreed port or terminal. So agreed port or terminal will be there. This agreement will be between buyer and seller, and up to there he has to give. So in this case also, seller will take insurance, and after that unloading at the agreed port or terminal, then buyer's insurable interest get attached. So after that, buyer may take insurance.
Sir, what about 3 and 4? Seller's liability?
Where?
3 and 4, cost and freight and cost insurance and freight.
Cost, insurance, freight. It is like free on board only, FOB, like up to the FOB point or ship's rail. Up to that only seller's responsibility is there.
Ship's rate.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So this free on board, cost and freight, that's why I have mentioned like this. CFR is FOB and plus freight charges. CIF is CFR, means FOB plus freight and plus insurance is also there. So he has to buy the insurances.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll proceed. We will come to marine cover note. So sometimes we will receive the information from the insured. He want to take the policy, but we will not receive complete information. So we will keep pending the issuance of the policy. So what we should do within that period? So we will issue marine cover note. So it is a temporary document, and we should we should issue the policy as early as possible, up to 30 days. Then cover notes are not stamped document. That's why it cannot be used as legally valid document in lawsuit. But this is in theory. In practical, if the marine cover note is granted, then no good insurer will deny the claim. So now there are endorsements. Endorsements are, everybody must know that, memorandum attached to the policy document which records alteration in the contract. So he wants to change some mobile numbers or names and all those things. Then endorsements will be there. But according to our practice, the alteration can be effected only before the end of the transit and before insurance ceases under the policy. Means after the transit, if he comes to you and say that please make the endorsement, then that is not possible, because then that insurable interest and all those things will get problematic. Then one e-marine is there. The insured can generate certificate through his computer against open policy or open cover. So here also one question they may make. They will ask you e-marine, e-something, and which among is used to generate the certificate through computer against open policy. Then it is e-marine. It is easy question actually. If easy paper is there, then only these type of questions they will ask. Then next is contra preferentum rule. So this is important. Contra preferentum rule means, say that you have as an insurer, you made one policy and insured also accepted, but insured is not well versed in all these terminologies and all. So if any ambiguity arises, then the policy is construed against the insurers and in favor of insured or assured, because as an insurer, you made that policy, you have put that words, so it is your responsibility to put words in ambiguous format. But if there is ambiguity, then it is construed against the insurer. So it is called as contra preferentum rule. So here insurer and assured are words are important, and this name also contra preferentum rule. Then additional rules of interpretation are there. So I have written it like this. One second. So printed words have less weightage than handwriting. So handwritten words has more weightage than printed. So suppose you printed something and then handwritten some different thing with it, then if they goes in the court, then handwriting will take preference. Then clause printed or typed in the margin of the policy, they have more weightage than handwriting also. Then clauses attached or gum, they have more weightage than clauses printed or typed in the margin. Then there is a clause paramount. Now this is also an important clause paramount. Clause paramount is like, this is paramount clause. See, it supersedes everything, and it can be only removed from the policy by physical deletion. Otherwise, it will override all other wordings if clause paramount is there. Even if you can interpret other clauses in any way, if it is contrary to the clause paramount, then clause paramount will prevail. Then there is another is there, implied term and express term. So implied term has less weightage than express term, because express terms are expressed by you deliberately. Then ordinary printed wordings have less weightage than clauses in italics. If something printed in italics, then it has more weightage. Now there is one popular question here that printing in red color is aimed at emphasis only. So they many times they ask that printing in red color has more weightage than black color, or it will override black color. So it is not like this. Printing in any color that don't have any impact on the interpretation. So that you must remember. So I have written here in red on. Now next, stamp duty for cargo policies. Now in the first chapter only we have seen that marine insurance policies should be stamped as per Stamp Act 1899. So how much stamp duty should be there? There are some rules for that. For sea voyage and transit by country craft, there should be 10 paise for every 3,000 rupees. So if 6,000 rupees is there, then 20 paise. It is a premium amount. Then if you charge the rate 1/8%, that is 0.125% or less than it, like 0.12, 0.11, then the stamp duty is only 5 paise, regardless of the sum insured, not every 3,000, every 6,000, every 9,000. That you should not calculate. Only 5 paise is there. Now here also one question they may make: the total premium charged to determine the rate 1/8 or not, that should be inclusive of premium for war and strike risk. So that base premium plus premium for war and strike risk, all those should be taken in the account when determining the rate is 1/8% or less or more. Then for other than sea voyage, that is transit purely by the road or air, if it has some leg of sea voyage, then it should be stamp duty should be according to sea voyage. But if it is purely by rail, road or air, that inland transit, then 25 paise when the flat 25 paise, not per 5,000 or per 10,000. 25 paise when the sum insured is 5,000 or less, and more than 5,000 it is 50 paise. Then for postal, if sea voyage is involved, then according to sea voyage, like 10 paise every 3,000 and all those things, or otherwise as per inland, that is 25 paise and 50 paise. Then we have international clauses for marine insurance. So firstly, you note that institute clauses drafted by International Underwriting Association of London. The last set of clauses was introduced in 1982, and in India we have taken it in 1980, implemented it in 1983, and the same was revised in the year 2009. Two other international clauses are also there. First is American and second is German, but mostly all people use this drafted by the IUA London, because German clauses are in German language and American as according to American laws. Then there are domestic clauses for inland and all those things. So domestic clauses are drafted by Tariff Advisory Committee, that is TAC. So this TAC's full form is Tariff Advisory Committee, and those are revised by General Insurance Council. Now we will see institute cargo clauses A, B, and C. So if they ask which is the basic standard cargo cover, then you should write it as ICC-C. If they ask like which is wider cover, then we may think that ICC-A is wider, but no, ICC-A is all risk cover and ICC-B is wider cover. ICC-C, so you should know that ICC-C basic, ICC-B wider, and ICC-A is all risk. So this specifically, these terms are used for these three covers. So in ICC-C, we'll see what will be covered in this. So ICC-C, fire or explosion, vessel or craft being stranded, grounded, sunk or capsized, overturning or derailment of land conveyance, collision or contact of vessel, object other than water. So this word you should remember. collision or contact of vessel, craft or conveyance with any external object other than water. What is meaning of this? That collision with water is not covered. Any external object other than water is covered. Then discharge of cargo at port of distress is also covered. General average sacrifice is also covered. Jettison is also covered. General average and salvage charges incurred to avoid loss from any causes except those excluded is also covered. Liability under both to blame collision. Clause of contract of update. Then ICCB. ICCB is a wider cover than this ICCC. It covers all the things in ICCC plus loss, damage reasonably attributable to earthquake, volcanic eruption or lightning, then washing overboard.
Sir, sir, I have a question. What is the difference between general average sacrifice and jettison?
That I'm coming in the hull insurance.
Okay, thank you.
At that time, I will explain this. Now we will see ICCB wider coverage. It covers all the things in ICCC plus, as I said, loss, damage reasonably attributable to earthquake, volcanic eruption or lightning. Then second is washing overboard, entry of sea, lake, river water into vessel, total loss of any package lost overboard, dropped while loading onto unloading from vessel and or craft. So many times they ask question like ICCC covers and they give you from ICCC 3 or 4 options, and one option is like washing overboard or loss damage reasonably attributable to earthquake, volcanic eruption. So you should remember that what is ICCC cover and what is ICCB. Then ICCA, as I mentioned already, ICCA is all risk cover. All risk does not denote that everything under the sky is covered. There are specific exclusions are there. In every insurance policy, there are exclusions. Like that ICCA is also has some exclusions. And piracy is covered in ICCA, but there is a catch. But if a pirate is a writer and attacks from the shore, then it is not covered. So normal piracy is covered, but if I attacks from shore, then it is not covered. That type of piracy, that pirate is a writer and attacks from shore, it is covered in the institute strike clause. Those are different clauses. We will see after in next few slides. Then deliberate damage or destruction by wrongful act of any person is covered in ICCA, but not in ICCB or ICCC. So ICCB and C both don't cover piracy and deliberate damage. So now we will come to general exclusion applicable to all ICCA, B and C. So loss, damage, expenses attributable to willful misconduct of the assured. If assured himself misconducts willfully, then that loss is not covered. It is exclusion. Then ordinary leakage, ordinary loss in weight. Means in ordinary course, many things lost some weight or gain some weight, then that is not covered. That is exclusion. Insufficiency or unsuitability of packing is also not covered. But now that if the packing is by a contractor or third party and insured is not aware about the unsuitability or insufficiency in packing, that is covered. But in normal course, it is not covered. If the insured has knowledge of it, then it is not covered. Then caused by inherent vice or nature, like I said in that term slide, that inherent vice, if then it is also exclusion. Now then expense proximately caused by delay, even though delay is caused by risk insured against, then also that is also exclusion. Then losses arising from the insolvency or financial default of the owner, managers, charters, operators of vessels are if insolvent, they become insolvent on financial default, then that is also exclusion. Then use of any weapon of war employing like reaction or radioactive force or matter, that is also exclusion. In warranty, we saw seaworthiness of vessel is one warranty is there. So implicit warranty is there. So unseaworthiness of vessel or craft is also exclusion. Then vessels are, if the vessels are unfit, then also it is exclusion. But in 2000, there is one exception is there. In 2009 clauses, the word lift van has been removed. So unfitness of lift van, that we cannot say that exclusion is there. Then war, civil war, revolution, insurrection, all those things are related to war. They are also exclusion. In every insurance, there are war is exclusion. Capture, seizure, arrest, restraint, detainment. So any country, suppose it detains any ship, so then that is a matter of that courts to decide. So insurer cannot do anything in that. So insurer will not pay losses because of that. Then derelict mines, torpedoes, bombs, and others. So it is like war only, war things. Then there is a strikers, locked out workmen, or person taking part in labor disturbance, riots, civil commotion. They also excluded. So then terrorist act, terrorist or any person acting from a political motive. If you suffer loss, if insure loss because of that thing, then it is also a exclusion under all three: ICC A, ICC B, and ICC C. One second. Now coming to institute war clauses for cargo. So the war, civil war, revolution, rebellion, insurrection, or civil strife arising therefrom, or any hostile act by or against a belligerent power, that is covered by institute war clauses. So we have seen that it is exclusion under ICC A, B, and C all. But if institute war clauses are attached, then it is covered. Then capture, seizure, all those things, derelict mines, torpedoes, general average salvage charges incurred to avoid loss from risk covered. So that all are covered under institute war clauses cargo. But please note that one exclusion is also in this, that frustration of voyage from the war, because of war, then that will, there should be actual loss, not the frustration of voyage. So that is a exclusion under institute war clause also. That one exclusion is there.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
Can you please explain that frustration of voyage part?
Frustration of voyage is like if war is going on, so you cannot take your ship anywhere, and you're just frustrated because of that. Then that loss may occur, and that loss will not, we will not.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, general average and salvage charges. Can you please
Yes, yes.
explain these?
General average I have already explained, but I will explain it again. General average is like if ship is going from, let's say, Mumbai to London, and in between, you think that your ship is in danger, and to avoid entire ship to sink, you should throw some cargo in the sea. So that is loss. But suppose that entire cargo belongs to, suppose it is of Prasad Patil, then that person only should not bear that loss. All the persons who has the interest in that voyage, and their cargo and that ship all will should reach safely to the destination port. for that, if you sacrifice something, then that losses should be shared by everyone. So that is the general average. And salvage charges are also like that only, but salvage charges are like if your ship is like sinking in like near the port, any port, and then to save that cargo, if you employ someone, then those are called salvage charges. I mean, you should salvage at least something, and not the total loss. To avoid the total loss.
Only at the port? This applies only at the port?
That I have to check, madam. That I will check.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Before concluding this session, that I will tell you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So duration is also important. Many times, at least 1 or 2 questions they ask on the duration. So instead, ICC and war clause. So in case of ICC, the duration is 60 days, and the risk ceases upon completion of 60 days of discharge overside of the insured goods from the vessel. So after 60 days, if your goods get discharged from vessel, then it is at the port or anywhere. Then up to 60 days, you can claim if any loss is there. After 60 days, it is the risk gets ceases. Then in case of war cover, this duration is 15 days only, because in wartime chances of loss are more. So this duration is brought down to 15 days. Then institute strike clause. Like I said, in that piracy thing, that it is covered in strike clauses. So here it is losses due to strikers, locked out workmen, or person taking part in labor disturbance, riots, or civil commotion. It is covered in the institute strike clause, or any person acting from political motive. So mostly many things which are exclusion in ICC A, B, or C, they mostly covered in these clauses, in war clauses, in strike clauses. Not all the things, but many things. Then general average or salvage charges incurred to avoid loss from risk covered. That is also covered under strike clause. Then this strike clause has same duration as per ICC ABC. It is 60 days. So I will recommend you to make one chart of this duration. In post, there is some different duration. In war clauses, there is different duration. In air clauses, we will come to that. That is also a different duration. So you make that whichever has 60 days, you write in one column. Whichever at 30 days, you write in one column. Means at least I was doing like that only. At the time of exam, it is very difficult to remember. We mix everything then otherwise. That which has 7 days, which has 60 days, which has 30 days, which has 15 days. So according to that chart, you can revise also.
Sir, these durations of cover in all the clauses, is it for the content to be unloading on the port or the vessel that reaches the port? After 60 days or 15 days, these clauses stop applying.
These are cargo, madam. Not vessel is not covered. Vessel is in hull, that we will come after.
So this is unloading
Cargo.
of
Yes.
cargo on the port.
Yes. After that, after 60 days or after 30 days, whatever I am telling here, it is cargo. So that's why we have made 2 different slides for cargo and hull.
Okay, thank you.
There are also time duration in hull also. So we will see that.
Sir, this any person from political motive is covered only in strike clause, right?
Strike clauses, yes, not in war.
Okay. Other than that, these 2 points, the general average and salvage, are same for war
Yes,
and.
that's why actually when we read it is it seems very simple, but it is complex because those wordings and all very same meaning we think.
Sir, this political motive include terrorism too?
No, not terrorism is entirely different.
Okay.
Political motive is different and terrorism is. So there are some exclusions also, like everything. Strikes clause also has some exclusion, that losses arising out of shortage, absence, or withholding of labor resulting for strikes and lockouts. So they are not allowing laborers to enter the port and all those things. Because of that, if losses are arising, then we will not cover it. Then this frustration of voyage, as I said in the war also, here also it is a exclusion. Then other exclusions, except the covered by this strike clause, they are same as ICC A, B, and C. If it is not covered in strike clause, then it is deemed as exclusion. Then we have institute cargo clauses here. Up to now we are seeing by C only. So here it is air. So ICC air is mostly we say like same like ICC A in cargo clauses. So except the general average or salvage, because from aeroplane you cannot throw anything and then your plane will get saved. That possibility is not there. And also boat to blame collision clause also not there. All other things are like same as the ICC A, all other covers except these two. So this is the difference between these two, institute cargo clauses A and ICC institute cargo clauses A.
Sir, what's the both to blame collision clause?
Boat to blames means if two ships collide with each other, then boat to blame is there. They will share the losses.
Okay, thank you.
So in air, it is not possible, because then if two aeroplane get collided, then everything will get lost. So it is not here. Then charges reasonably and properly incurred to avert or minimize an insured loss and preserve and exercise recovery are also covered. Then exclusion are also same as ICCA. The duration clause is different. In ICCA we had 60 days. But in aeroplane, it is air clause. It is cover ceases on completion of 30 days once the goods are delivered at the aircraft terminal. There was in ICCA, there was at the port. Here it is aircraft terminal. Accordingly, you can easily imagine this. But it is 30 days. So that, as I said, you should write it. Then for air cargo also, we have institute war clauses. Coverage is exactly same as marine cargo institute war clauses, as we saw institute war clauses in cargo. Then exclusion are also same. Only the duration, no, here duration is also same. So for war clauses, it is simple. In both cases, 15 days duration is there. Then institute strike clauses, air cargo. So for both, there are strike clauses. So coverage is exactly same. It is like war only. The strike also same. Exclusion are also same as institute strike clauses cargo. Then duration of cover here also it is 30 days. So in that strike clauses by C also it was 30 days. Here also it is 30 days. Then we send some by postal or mail by air. Then coverage is as per the ICC clauses. Exclusion also as per ICC cargo only. But here it is like that only total loss is covered. If partial loss is not covered. Then duration of cover is, here it is different. Duration of cover is 15 days. So register, mail, postal, if that word comes, then it is 15 days cover. And here I want to add one more thing. This 15 days will get count from the midnight of that date when postal authorities inform the customer about arrival of their consignment. From that only 15 days will be counted. Then there are some incidental clauses are there. One is a comprehensive clause. It works as an extension to ICC.
Sir, for days, no, in institute strike class cargo, it is 60 days, right?
1 second. Institute.
Yes. Strike clause cargo 60 days.
Strike class air, it is 30 days.
Air it is 30.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So sometime while typing we make error. We make mistake. So there are some incidental clauses. If any incident happens, then these clauses get attached. That is, first is comprehensive clause. That is an extension of ICC B cover. You may use it as a ICC B extension to ICC B cover. Then there is institute replacement clause. It is for new. Please remember here question. Here they make question, multiple questions. Institute replacement clause. So institute replacement clause is for new machine. Every time you should know that. So anything happen to that machine, then cost of that part and fitment also it is covered. So the person who fit that part and make the machine usable, that charges also covered by the insurance. Then there is second hand replacement clause. This is for second hand machines, not for new machines. Then there is a pair and set clause. What happens sometimes there is a pair of some parts, and without that two parts, that machine may not work. So if one among the pair one part only get damaged, then they have to replace the both parts pair only, but we will pay up to that damage or lost part only, that one part only. We will not pay for second part. So this is trick here. Then cutting clause is used for pipes.
Sir, excuse me.
Huh?
If we add pair and set clause, the pair is covered, no? Otherwise, only one part is covered.
No, only one.
Oh.
That is covered in pair and set clause.
Only one, the loss, damaged part only.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So one more thing, in comprehensive clause, it has written covers TPND. What's TPND?
Theft, pilferage, non-delivery.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Theft, pilferage, non-delivery.
Theft, pilferage, and non-delivery. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It exclusively covers that only, no? That comprehensive.
Yes. And that too as an extension to ICC-B cover.
Okay, sir.
Then there is cutting clause. It used for pipes, and we pay only for that damaged portion which to be cut off and then rejointing. In this also fitment charges are covered. Then there is label clause. One is label clause, that sometimes if labels are not there, then cost of those labels only we will cover. Concealed damage clause. Suppose you took delivery of some cargo, but that cargo is damaged, but inside it is, so you don't know it, so it is concealed. So within 45 days you come to know about that damage, then you will get compensation for that. That is by the concealed damage clause. Then debris removal clause is simple, that is cost of removal of debris. Picking clause is for cotton bales. And garbling, here also garbling. Please mute your mics, Mr. MP. Thank you. So garbling clause. So garbling means cleansing or sifting. It is mainly for the tobacco, but can be used for coffee and other things also. But mostly it is used for tobacco. So garbling clause is applicable for cleansing. So garbling means also to cleanse or sift the whole from the defectable. Then loading and unloading clause is also there. Then shutout cargo clause. Shutout cargo also there is a definition that shutout cargo means the cargo arrived.
Too late. Shoe arrived at too late.
Hello.
Too late.
Yes. Right. So before arriving of the cargo, that ship left the port. So that is called shutout cargo.
Covered only the extra premium.
Yes.
So they can also like that with extra premium, the questions they are making the MCQ, no? With
No, they will make MCQ from book only, madam. If it is not written in the book, then in 13.2 at least they will not ask anything other than the book.
Okay, sir.
So is it an like add-on, sir? Shutout cargo?
Incidental clause, yes.
Okay. Additional clause.
Additional clause, yes.
Okay.
Normally, we give only ICCA and SRCC if we are underwriting, but these are clause are there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Then there is cargo ISM endorsement. One thing is there, cargo safety aspects to be complied with as far as vessels are concerned. Vessels should comply with ISM code and have the papers thereof on board the vessel. So these papers should be on board the vessel. If consignor or agents are privy of non-compliance with this, then losses are not covered. And for this endorsement, here it is also one question they make that cargo ISM endorsement applicable for vessels of 500 gross ton or more. So they may give you like 100 gross ton, 200 gross ton. One will be there 500 gross ton or more. Then that is the answer to this question.
Sir, what's the ISM code?
ISM, 1 second. Like, International Safety Management.
Okay.
Then there are we saw these clauses ICC A, B, C, then war clauses and all those things. Those are for marine. Those are for ships voyage related. Now it is inland transit clause. So there are also 3 clauses: ITC A, B, and C. In that also ITC C is basic cover, ITC B is wider cover, and ITC A is all risk cover with exclusions. So first is fire and lightning. It is in common in all. Then breakage of bridges. It is also covered in all 3. Then collision with or by carrying vehicle. It is not covered in ITC C, but it is covered in ITC A and B. 1 second. ITC is inland transit clause. Then overturning of carrying vehicle. It is also not covered in ITC C, but it is covered in ITC A and B. Then derailment or accidents of like nature to the carrying railway wagon vehicle. This also not covered in ITC C. So you can see only fire, lightning, and breakage of bridges is covered in ITC C. That's why it is basic cover. Then theft, pilferage, and non-delivery. This is also not covered in ITC B and C, but it is covered in ITC A. So as like many clauses, many losses are there. It mentioned in books that you should read, that they are not in ITC B and C, but included in A.
Sir, ITCC has only 2, no? Fire and lightning.
Yes. Fire and fire, lightning, and breakage of bridges.
But that is not given in the book. Only they gave 2. Fire. Physical loss or damage to the subject matter insured by fire, lightning.
Okay. Then breakage of bridges I took from something. So it is not in book. Then you can remove it. Breakage of bridges.
Bridges they gave in clause B.
Clause B. So only fire and lightning in C you are telling?
Yes, sir. In book it is like that.
Okay. I will check and correct it before sending.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So then there is termination of contract carriage clause. If carriage voyage is terminated at a port not mentioned in the policy due to some extreme circumstances, cover ceases to exist unless insured inform the insured about the change, or insurance ceases to exist on a completion of 60 days after the goods are unloaded at the port. So sometime due to some reasons, they have to terminate at other port. Then if the insured informs insurer and insurer agrees, then cover will remain. Or even if insurer doesn't agree, then it will cease after 60 days of the unloading. So here also the time limit is there, 60 days. So termination of contract of carriage clause. Then institute trade clauses are there. So institute cargo clauses take care of cargoes of general nature, whereas the institute trade clauses deal with number of commodities which require special clauses to provide for the particular hazards. The clauses have been that Then we will go. So institute commodity trade clause A, B, and C coverage is similar to ICC A, B, C, or which are covered in ICC C, that is also covered in institute commodity trade clause C. likewise B and A also. So they ask question like this: which among these is not in the institute commodity trades clauses? And they give anything different than this, that cocoa, coffee, cotton, fat. They may give coal in this, so you should identify that coal is not covered in the institute commodity clause, commodity trade clauses. The coal clause is different. So these things are there in the institute commodity trades clause: cocoa, coffee, cotton, fats and oil not in bulk, hides, skin, leather, metals, oil seeds, sugar and tea. Then institute coal clause there. Why coal is not in the commodity trade clause? Because it has separate clause for it. So this cover is similar to ICCB. However, in addition, it also covers fire and explosion due to spontaneous combustion. So inherent vice is covered in this coal clause. That spontaneous combustion occurs because of that coal's nature only, but it is covered. Then fire also, due to inherent vice, is covered in the coal clauses. So only coal clause cover this type of hazards. Then similarly, institute jute clause is also there. So cover is similar to ICCB. So all these coverage are same as ICCB, jute, coal. So it is earthquake, volcanic eruption, lightning not covered. Cover is attached if subject matter insured in jute only. Duration of cover is reduced to 30 days. ICC clauses it is 60 days, but in jute it is 30 days. Then termination of contract is reduced to 15 days only. Then institute bulk oil clause. Cover can be provided under ICC A, B, C or under IPO, institute bulk oil clause. So for bulk oil, different clause is there. Then in addition to the ICC ABC, we can cover leakage during transshipment for these bulk oil clauses. Losses due to negligence also covered, and contamination is also covered. Exclusion is same as ICC clauses, except the one related to packing, as it does not apply because bulk oil is not packed; it is transferred in bulk only. So duration of cover is 30 days for this cover. Then coffee policies are there, but coffee policies are not like institute coffee clauses are not there. Coffee policies only. So the coffee policies are covered in this institute commodity trade clauses. But there are 4 types of coffee clauses, coffee policies. Package insurance policies are there. Package insurance policies are discontinued, but different policies are issued during different stage of coffee making. They are like, first is full package policy. Its time limit is 120 days. This is from policy covering from plucking to going up to buyers. It is 120 days. Then second is policy covering plucking and transit up to the only curing house. That is 60 days storage. Then third is like transit from curing house to FOB point. It is also 60 days. Then curing house to buyers anywhere in India, it is also 60 days. Then risk covered. Risk covered is same as ITCA. Here it is not ICCA, but it is ITCA. And SRCC can be covered at the additional premium. Then while settlement of claim, how to arrive at the value? It is market value less unincurred expenses. Then duration of cover, as I said, for type 1 coffee policy, there are one package policy, there are 120 days and all other 3 has 60 days. Then likewise, policy for cardamom estate also. The full package, these also of 3 types. Full package policy, 120 days. Then policy covering picking to owners, auctioners go down, it is 90 days storage. And third is transit policy. So risk covered are same as coffee policy or ITCA, you can say. Basis of valuation, here it is basis of valuation at the time of giving the policy. It is previous year average plus 10%. And basis of settlement is, it is 4 kg of raw cardamom is equal to 1 kg of dried cardamom. This question is their favorite question, that they will ask you 1 kg of dried cardamom is how much is equivalent to, and they will give 1 kg of raw or 2 kg of raw, 3, 4 like that, or vice versa. They can give the option. Then package policy for rubber estate. These are also 3 types of policy. One is full package policy, that is 120 days. Then full package policy up to FOB point, it is also 120 days. Then transit policy of centrifugal latex, it is type of rubber policy. So this is also like that. They ask transit policy of centrifugal latex issued for, so it is for rubber estates. Then here basis of valuation is invoice plus 10%. Risk cover is like same as copy and all. ITC-A. Then duration of cover is 120 days. Then at the settlement, market value less unincurred expense. Then there is key crop insurance. Insurance is issued on garden-wise basis, but if any only on garden-wise basis. But if any factory don't have garden, then you can issue it factory-wise also. Then coverage is like inland transit are subject to clauses A as applicable. Then exclusion, losses due to absence of shortage, fault, negligence, trade loss, hold up. All these are exclusion. For standing crops, there is no coverage, but if crop damaged because of hail, then the liability, then that can be covered, but liability is limited up to 50%. Then there are multimodal transport insurance also. I think we have a shortage of time, so I will share with you. We have to cover hull also. This topic we will take. Marine reinsurance. Insurance in every type of insurance policy, reinsurance is there. So there are basically two types of insurance: proportional insurance and excess of loss insurance. In proportional insurance, there is first is treaty reinsurance. Treaty reinsurance means 1 year this reinsurance program will run, and which whatever risk allowed by the reinsurer, underwritten by the insurer, would automatically be ceded to the treaty. So automatically that much amount risk will go to the reinsurance. In facultative, as you know, in facultative, every time we have to go to reinsurer, and then reinsurer has the freedom to accept or reject the risk or to impose any condition beyond retention limit and all. So in facultative, every risk will not flow. If only reinsurer is agree, then only it is covered. In treaty, every risk will flow to the reinsurer up to that some percentage. Then excess of loss reinsurance. It is not like treaty reinsurance. The reinsurance role starts after certain level of monetary excess. So after certain loss will be there, then only reinsurer will come into picture. So layers are there. Then there can be different reinsurers for different layer. So for 20% there is a different reinsurer. For 30% there is a different reinsurer. So there are some high risk cargo, that is high value but low quantity. So if loss occurs, then even if loss of low quantity is there, then also we have to give more claim to that person. Then customized cargo is also high risk cargo. Then with no testing facility locally, local testing facility is not available, then also it is high risk cargo. Then over dimensional cargo is there. Then perishable cargo, perishable means fruits and all, they are also high risk cargo because they have certain time span, certain lifespan. So if it has lifespan of 15 days, and due to some circumstances, if they reach after 20 days, then there may be chances of total loss. More examples of high risk cargo are jewelry, high-end mobile phone, tablets, then pharma products, baby food, gaseous cargo, cargo designed for specific purpose, cargo that cannot be fit in 40-feet container. 40-feet container, you may remember that it is highest container, 10, 20, 30 and 40. But cargo which cannot be fit in 40-feet container, then it requires special handling. Like I said, fruit, food stuff, ice cream, vaccine, they are also high risk cargo. Then dangerous goods code is there: explosive, toxic, infectious substances, radioactive material, flammable liquids are there. They are all high risk cargo. So now there is less time, but we will go to hull. So in hull, we will have the insurable interest in hull insurance. Hull means that body of the ship. So ship owner's interest are there. Obviously, ship owner has interest in his ship, so it is there. Then ship repairer's interest also is there, because whenever a ship goes to repairer's warehouse, then at that time it is in his custody, and so anything happens in that period, then he has to compensate for the losses. So he can take insurance for that period. Then ship builder's interest is there. While building the ship, any hazards happen and losses are there, then shipbuilder will have to bear those losses. So he also has the insurable interest. Then charterers interest, then mortgages interest, banks and all those things. Then P&I interests are also there. So ship owners interest. First we will see ship owners interest. So hull and machinery, in both are owned by that owner. Then he has the interest in that hull and machinery. Freight which is ordinary, then freight payable by the cargo owner, then charter, then freight payable by the charterer. Ship owners trading freight. Ship owners carries his own goods in his ship, then he is permitted to insure as a freight also. Then liabilities, carrier's liability to cargo owners. So if something happens to his ship, then carrier has the liability to the cargo owners also. Then collision liability, collided, if that ship get collided with any object, then that liability is also there. Then they have to remove the wreck also, then that liability is also there. These are not much important from our exam perspective, so you should read it once. But from this, then in hull insurance, we have two types of policy. So there are time policy and there are voyage policy. So time policies are issued for 12 months, except the builder's risk, because while building the ship, there may be, he may take time up to 2 years or 3 years, which we cannot predict. So for time policy, we only the builder's risk insurance can be given for more than 12 months. All others, in all other cases, all insurance is if on time policies, then 12 months is there. In voyage policies, delivery voyage and trial trips is covered. Voyage to repairs yard is also covered. Voyage to dry docks for classification surveys. Funeral voyage to shipbreakers yard. Funeral voyage means last after the completion of time of that lifespan of that ship, then it goes to shipbreakers. So while going to the shipbreakers, because that shipbreaker also gives some money to the ship owner. So while that time something happens to it, then it is called the funeral voyage. Then there are two types of vessels, like sundry vessels and ocean going vessels. Sundry means near to coast, that fishing vessel, sailing vessel, dredgers. Dredgers means to use for the mods and to clear the mods and canal route for the bigger ships. Then ocean going vessels are there. Ocean going vessels are dry cargo carriers, combination carriers, tankers, bulk carriers, tugs, anchor handling tugs, and ocean going dredgers. So dredgers have two types also, dredgers which operate in the coastal area and in going to ocean also. Then sundry vessels. In it, inland vessels are there. In it, barges, pontoons, flats, launches, passenger vessels, and tugs, etc. Now here in inland waters, flying through harbor waters, backwaters, sea waters. So inland waters is what? So it is 12 nautical miles from the prominent port, river, canals, lake water. So we can provide short period policies by charging premium on pro rata basis to them. Cover ceases if the insured vessel is undergoing conversion, jumboization. Builder's risk cover shall be given instead. So all these inland vessels, barges, pontoons, flats, launches, passenger vessels, those definition and explanation is given in books. Read it carefully because they ask some thing like use of launches, then use of barges. What is use of barges? Or passengers vessels are highly equipped and modern. So if they ask which is the highly equipped vessel, then it is passenger vessels. So read it carefully, that part. Then rating of inland vessel. The rating is done on two broad classification: vessel with self-propelled machinery or vessel without self-propelled machinery. These two classification rating will done on these two types. Then see here, dredgers. Dredgers are special purpose vessels, as I said, used for desilting the ocean riverbed, thereby clearing the channels for movement of other vessels. So this is the use of dredgers or definition of dredgers. Then inland waters, that I said 12 nautical miles. Then there are general cargo vessels. Gross tonnage should be 5,000 metric ton. Which example is container ships, barges, ro-ro. This ro-ro is useful for cars and all those things. So
Sir,
you
general cargo vessels gross tonnage is 500 MT or 5000 MT?
5,000 MTN. Let me check. I will check it also.
Okay, sir.
Zero is more. Then liners and tramps, we already seen that advertised berth is liners and then chartered is tramp. For tramp it is 25 years and liners it is 25. For tramp it is 15 years. For liners it is 25 years. And if containerized liners are there, then you can insure at normal rate up to 30 years. These years are also important, they ask it. Then dry bulk carriers. This is used for dry cargo like iron ore, coal, grain, minerals, phosphates. So it is self-explanatory. Its heading is self-explanatory. The dry bulk. So it is bulk carrier, but dry goods only they carry. So Panamax, Suezmax, and capsize. It is those words are of that canals, Panama canals, Suez Canal, all those things. Liquid bulk carriers. So in this, they bulk carrier only, but they carry liquid like crude oil, chemicals, all those things they carry. And they have one more thing is they have shorter life than dry bulk carrier because that chemicals have corrosive effect on the steel. Then there are super tankers are there. In super tankers also two different things are there. One is VLCC, that very large carrier. That is you remember this deadweight tonnage, that is 75,000 to 1,50,000. It is VLCC, and ultra large is 1,50,000 to 3 lakh. So here they make question that ULCC's weight limit is 150 to 300 like this. Then VLCC or ULCC cannot pass through Suez Canal when fully loaded. So there is problems. So very careful navigation is also required for this. Repairs are also costly. Then violent explosion possible during tank cleaning operations is also there. So there are combination carriers. Sorry, OBO is oil bulk and oil bulk ore. So they can carry oil also, and they can carry ore also. So they can carry dry as well as liquid also. So its capacity is 70,000 to 1,50,000 deadweight tonnage. Or bulk oil vessel. This is very confusing actually. Both the terms, if short form is there, then both are same. but you should remember that first oil is there, then it is 70,000 to 1,50,000, and if ore is first place, then 1,50,000 to 2,50,000 deadweight ton. DWT is deadweight ton. Then combination carriers are designed to carry dry bulk as well as liquid, means oil and all this. They can switch from one trade to other depending on the trade requirements. So while going from Mumbai to Dubai, they can carry dry bulk, and while coming from Dubai to Mumbai, they can carry oil. So they are used for multi-purpose. So they should not come empty while returning. Then container vessels are there. They are also called as cellular vessel. Their capacity is measured in TEU, like I earlier said, 20 feet equivalent unit, and FEU, 40 feet equivalent. But in our book, only 20 feet equivalent unit is more used. See, this is one example we have given here. Ever given was a container vessel, if you know, that lead to millions of dollars of insurance claims subsequent to the incident. So here is the picture that stuck in that canal, Suez Canal, and then insurers were in problem. So these types of vessels, they have to move very carefully. Then other ocean going vessels are there. Light abroad ship, LASH. So mostly they ask you LASH full form. So lighter abroad ship is there. Then which is the specialty that these ships has cranes top of the vessel. Then roll on, roll off. So ro that I have said, used for cars and trucks. Don't have where they don't have crane, on which port they don't have cranes or handling facilities are inadequate. There is a roll on, roll off is useful. Ro. So they directly come out of that vessel and go on the roads. So ocean going dredgers are there. That is to dig up the sand and mud. Passenger vessel, that is cruises, that people go on cruise from Mumbai to Goa and all those. So those are well equipped, has a GPS and all those modern equipments are there on passenger vessels. Then LPG, LNG carriers are there. Liquefied petroleum, liquefied natural gas carriers are there. Anchor handling cum supply vessels are there. Fishing, steel and fiberglass. These are different types. Barges, like earlier said, barges definition is flat bottom, and barges are to carry the passengers. So big ships cannot come up to shore. So they have to reduce the weight. So they lift the passenger from those ships in the barges, and then that ship can come to shore. Then the launches are also for the tourist, and that is up to short distance. Launches are for short distance. Cruises are for long distance. Then these three are most important. Without that, I cannot end my session, because every time they ask questions on this. So GT, NT, and DWT. So GT is gross tonnage. So total volume of the tonnage deck in cubic feet plus all spaces above the deck divided by 100. Most important to remember here is it is a unitless index. So GT is unitless index. So they ask this is their favorite question, which is the unitless index, or they give like deadweight tonnage, it's a unitless index, it is true or false. So it is false. Gross tonnage is a unitless index. Then net tonnage. Net tonnage means total usable area. Gross tonnage is all areas of the ship. But in gross tonnage, you should minus the machinery, crew, and accommodation, all those area. So total usable area is net tonnage. Then deadweight tonnage. Deadweight tonnage is capacity in tons of cargo required to load the ship to load line level, and it is unit. It has unit. It is not unitless. It is expressed in tons. So hull and machinery insurance. In it we cover hull also and machinery, propelling machinery. Covers partial loss, total loss, general average. Also we cover sue and labor charges, ship owner's liability towards other vessel rising out of collision. But it covers only up to 3/4 of the collision. This also they ask 3/4 of the collision liability covered or total liability. So remaining 1/4 is covered with P&I club. But in India, we don't have P&I club. Then marine hull policy also insurance of freight. Insurance of freight for time can be insured up to 25% of H&M insure. So this insurance does not cover partial loss of the freight. In case of total loss of vessel, freight is paid in full. Marine hull policies has some exclusion also: war, strikes, malicious acts, nuclear risk, pollution hazard, general average and salvage, loss damage to the cargo, loss damage to jetties, wharves and ports, etc. These are excluded. So there are 26 clauses. This Institute Times clause hulls is 1983, 110, 1983. This you should remember. Then other things you will get in the books. I will share this PPT with all with you. Okay, so due to time constraint, we will end here. My 1 second, I will add one slide with my mobile. So here I have given my mobile number and email ID also. If you have any doubts, then you can ask on that. It's already 6:1 is there. So shall we conclude?
Sir, I have a query.
Madam.
Sir, can you please explain shutout clause?
Shutout cargo.
Yes, sir.
Shutout cargo means I explained that cargo arrived late to the port, loading port. When the cargo arrived, ship has already went from there. That is called as shutout cargo.
So with attaching this clause, can we, so are we covering the cargo?
You can ask me on that afterwards. First,
Okay.
let me conclude here. It is sorry for not answering some questions because time constraint is there, madam. 6 p.m. already there. Thanks. I would like to thanks all my colleagues and all my seniors. Also BVKS, Dinesh Bobate sir, Sachin Lokesh sir, Anil Jadhav sir, Rushikesh Kulkarni sir, for giving me the opportunity. This was my first time, so I request all the participants to pardon me if any misinformation is there. You should read the book and revise it. I will share this with everyone. And thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, where will get the PPT?
I will send it. After rectifying some mistakes, we have come to know that 2-3 mistakes are there, no? So
Okay.
I should share it without any with corrections. So
Sir, on the
Thank you,
BVKS
sir.
Telegram
group,
or
Telegram, yes.
okay, sir.
Telegram on
But
the BVKS 13.2 2024 group, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
सर वो ग्रुप में हम नहीं है.
Then you join, na, madam?
How join?
Tell You don't have anyone in that group?
We want to
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
the
you can.
Yogesh sir, he will ask personally and he will join it.
Yes. You join in that group because everything in that group only. So you'll get everything from that group. Otherwise,
Ask him personally and he will join them.
yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Nice, sir.
And best
Nice,
of
sir.
luck for exam.
Nice,
Best of
Thank
luck.
you, sir. Thank you.